So today I'm here joined with Peter Urban. Peter runs the Slough and West Drayton office for Landlord Photography. Peter's been in the business now for just over a year, and so I just thought it was a good checkpoint to have a chat with him to share his experiences working in the franchise and working with us on the business. Now, Peter was franchisee number one. He was the first one in, so we were learning a lot when Peter joined, and it was a very much a journey of discovery together. It's been good fun, but obviously he hasn't had the value of us already going through those experiences. Also, he's been building his business through the whole COVID lockdown. So there's been some challenging times through that first year. But I just wanted to have a talk with him today and for him to share his experiences for other people who might be interested in joining the business. Now, we did want to do this face to face, but with the whole lockdown situation and all the rest of it, we've kind of given up a little bit. And so we're doing it online through this. So, firstly, welcome, Peter.
Hello, Paul. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to share my experience with potential franchisees. And thank you for the opportunity to build the business as I am now.
Okay, so build a business. So let's start. I've got a few questions for you. So, what attracted you to Landlord Photography?
Okay, so we know each other before that idea came to my mind. So we work on one of the networking meetings. So we kind of build relations through that. So I knew you are the professional property photographer. So I know the background what on your business, but what attracts me too, it was like there was a few things come to on the go. So first was I love building the business. The process of building the business is something which gives me energy, and I really enjoy doing that. So potential opportunity to build the business was a very good starting point. Secondly, I have the Matterport camera bought previous year, and the idea was to use for my property business. But few people just ask me, hey, why you not offer the service for anyone else, and you can get like earn money for it. But I tried doing it, but it wasn't that easy. And one of the mastermind session with my business coaches, there was like a good session, and there was two questions asked to me: who I need to become to build the business through Matterport, and second one, who I need to join forces or find someone else who helped me develop the business. And after that mastermind session, about 2 days after, you called me for like a follow-up call after the PIN meeting, and we chat about the martial arts, and word to word we just come, what are you doing now? So we start conversation about Matterport and joining forces with photography, and the process start clicking. And after a few conversations, I decided, yes, this will be a great idea to build a new business, new adventure, some challenges, and that's what drives me yes. That's going to be the good way to go.
Brilliant, fantastic. Okay, so do you just want to tell us a bit more about kind of what your situation was when you joined the business, because you didn't have a lot of time, did you, to invest in the business when you first joined? So do you want to just tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, that was a big battle in my mind. So should I get something else to so at the moment, before I joined the Landlord Photography, I was in full-time employment. I run the rent-to-rent business, and also I have a property overseas, which is I have to not manage, but overlook over the manager. As well, I just did the school run every day, twice a day, plus training boxing. So there was like my schedule was very tight, and I decided, okay, I'm gonna start another business. Which is my missus said, okay, are you crazy or something? But I saw the bigger picture of it. And I said, yeah, I will have a go. So I will sacrifice some time and to build a business, and uh, it was a good decision. So when I joined Landlord Photography, so I run out one business, full-time employee for 7.5 hours per day, and do the school runs, training, boxing. So I slept about 5 hours per day, wake up at 6 a.m. and go to bed about 1:30 at night. So yeah, it was quite challenging. But now the hard work pays off, and I now, imagine when I left my job, I have 7 hours and 34 minutes average sleep per night. So lovely, love it.
Yeah, and so that's the sort of key thing there. So you did have that full-time job, but in a way you were lucky because it still allowed you time during the days because it was a sort of later on, wasn't it? It was like an evening type work.
Yeah.
So that still allowed you time during the day to do sort of photo shoots and work on this business. That worked quite well. And also to your point there, you've now been able to give up that job. Thanks to the other things that you've been doing. So your property and obviously landlord photography. So. And that's your last day was almost a year to the day you joined this business, wasn't it?
Yes. So I started job on 26th of September in 2006. On the 27th September, we signed the franchisee agreement.
That was in 2019, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was 2019, and my last day was 28th. That's why, because I always want to quit my job on the day I started, but unfortunately this year there was Saturday, so I have to postpone it to the Monday. So there was like a 26th, my father's birthday, and starting my job. Then 27, 1 year agreement, 1 year anniversary of Landlord Photography, and 28th, my last day at job. So it was a brilliant weekend to celebrate. Good.
Fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. Good. So my next question. So what are your thoughts about the business? The good and the bad. Because what I'm not trying to do in this conversation is kind of convince anybody that they should come into this business. It's like any business. There's good bits and there's not so good bits, and
Yes.
and we. It certainly isn't easy, is it? Especially initially. So, what's your thoughts on the business?
Yeah, my initial thought was, first I was a bit afraid of learning the photography skills. Well, learning, let's say, there was like a mindset obstacles for me. Say, okay, I'm doing the photographs, but they are not very well. They're not look professional photographs. There wasn't that good. So there was my concerns. Okay, well, I was pretty confident with the 3D virtual tours, which is, well, not the problem. I'm very confident, but with the photographs, and someone asked me, hey, some like before I have a first client, ask me about some technical stuff, or technical terminology. I said, oh my god, and they will discover I'm not I'm not really pro photographer. But the thing is, there was a mindset issue. We overcome that through some training and through some guidance and through some example jobs. And even if I had some experience, because as we spoke on one of our calls, that we use a professional photographer to do our to do the photos in Poland, because I can't go there because it was lockdown, and the result was their photos are not really good as mine, which is I have a less experience than them have. So this convinced, there was like a breaking point. So yes, this is nothing that is stick in my mind. So there was the first obstacle. Second, the first initial when we spoke, and I see all the support you provide and what we have to do with I have so many actions to do, to be honest, and when am I gonna do it? So yeah, because, well, to build a business, you have to be proactive, you have to take action. And I said, oh my god, I've got only 6 hours per day, so how am I gonna do it? So that was a little bit curious, but I knew it on back of my head, that to be able to grow and make my goal to grow that business, I have to do it and trust the process as well. So slowly forward, I just step by step start doing the stuff. And what I like in the business, so when I came with some creative ideas, there was something, there was no, you can't do it that way, this is the script you have to go through, but you said no, let's try and do it, and if it works, it's good. If it's not works, okay, we already know that's not gonna work. And so was creative bit. I have some freedom to create that business, but I have other support with the strict actions what I should do. So there was and my time, there was I have not enough time to do it. That was a little bit concerned me.
Yeah, okay, good, because it wasn't easy initially, was it? You were doing things and not necessarily getting instant feedback, and so
Yeah.
it's like, as you, I think you said, it's like that keeping on and trusting the process.
Yeah, that's true. So I always said, oh, I have like a visions. Oh, that's gonna be property photography. This is a brilliant business. I'm gonna have like a lots of jobs from. I will go to a estate agent. The estate agent's gonna welcome me and give me, so hey, 5 jobs per day. And the reality was, well, they not really even was interested in that kind of. Some of them don't even don't use the professional photographers, which was very surprising me. But yeah, and the reality was different. So building the clients database is slowly processed, and it's not success not overnight. So you have to trust the process and just go forward, and keep doing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I kind of say that to anybody and everybody I speak to who's looking to come into the business. I say to them, this isn't a McDonald's franchise. You don't just open the doors and they come. You've got to build the business. And I also, one of the things I say, and I probably said to you, was this isn't a photography franchise. It's a relationships and marketing franchise. The photography bit, it's obviously a key part of the business, and we've got to deliver a good service. But if you can create that pipeline and you build those relationships, that can actually, in some ways, be more important than the very best photography at times.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, that was my concern. So I'm not good at the photography, yes, and but yeah, that's true. Lots of business come through this year was come from building relationships. The actions I did before I joined the franchisees, and in that there was result in bringing the business to me. So yeah, relations business. And the photography is like just like a product we offer, but we have a range of products we can offer as well. So yeah, if you build that rapport with people and people rely on you, you're trustworthy, you under promise and over deliver, you will always have people who just, even doesn't matter of sometimes the price. I even experienced that the price is not the biggest factor deciding people work with you or not. The people buy from you. So if you are the right person, you will get the success.
Yeah, and so what I say to that is it's about value, not cost. So, for example, if you're dealing with a HMO, if you fill a HMO even one day quicker than they would with another photographer or their own photographs, you've paid for your service, because the amount of money that they would have lost from that almost just one day can actually make a lot of difference. So
yeah, that's true. That was a great example you had on that landlord. You said he lost. Well, he will be saved £5,000 when he called us earlier, that is true.
Yeah. So for anybody who doesn't know that story, we had one letting agency we do quite a bit of work for. They do their own photos, but they suggested to the landlord in this case that they get us in to do some dressing, because we don't just offer photography, we offer dressing 360 and the photography as well. They didn't want to do that because they didn't want the cost. So to put that into perspective, he spent hundreds of thousands of pounds on the property, tens of thousands of pounds on the refurb. thousands of pounds on furniture and the fittings, but he didn't want to spend a few hundred on marketing the property. So that property sat empty for 2 months with nobody moving in, 5-bedroom HMO, sat empty, nobody moving in, very few inquiries. So then they agreed to get us in. We dressed a couple of rooms, took the photos, and that property then was fully let within 7 days. So if they'd have called us at day 0 rather than day 60, we could have had that property filled by day 7 rather than day 67. And that's where, between the agent and I, we worked out that that decision would cost that landlord way over £5,000 in lost revenue and like costs.
That's
Whereas,
true.
you know, if it had got us in sooner, he actually could have made a lot more money. And that's obviously something that we have to educate people on, because it can feel counterintuitive. They want to save money, but actually by buying this service, they're actually gonna, it's an investment rather than a cost.
Yeah, and that approach, it was very vital as well. So we are not like okay, we are service providers, yes, but we just like some like a helping hand, because I spoke to a lot of very let's say successful and experienced landlords who doing for 15, 20 years, but they didn't even know that well dressing is gonna give us. So, for example, I did the 3D job for an estate agent who gave me my first rent-to-rent deal, and he asked me what, because he took over a HMO from his friend just to help him out, and he said, "Oh, I've got 4 rooms empty. I didn't have any much inquiries. What would you do?" So he asked me who. So I just gave him an answer. Look, first touch point is great photos, then second touch point is description, and then you have, well, so great photos, descriptions, consider 3D. And he just asked me for doing the 3D and implement that one. And before I just came to do the 3D, he rent 3 of the 4 rooms.
Mm.
So before I just came to do the job, he just fill the 3 rooms. Well, he sat up for about 3 or 4 weeks, 4 rooms, not much inquiries.
Yeah.
So we just like a bit helping hand and advise and educate in business, because first of all we do it ourselves, which is very good.
Yeah,
So you
that's
understand.
the key. And that's the key, isn't it? Landlord photography, we're all property people ourselves. You know, we're all either investors or, you know, we all work in property. So we all understand that the markets that we're dealing in, that what really differentiates. And this is where, you know, one of the messages we try and get to our prospective clients is we don't take photos of babies. We don't take photos of weddings. We are property people, and we take property photographs 360. It's visual assets. It's not even just the photography side. And and that's how we develop our product range as well, is by knowing what's going on in the market and responding to that and having conversations with property professionals, and taking that steer, and also from our own experiences.
Yeah, of course. And the reviews that's saying, for our happy clients, is saying everything. So
absolutely, and they're always great to read, aren't they?
Yeah, love it. That's like what makes me happy, if I make someone lives easy and helping others, that drives give me that energy to act. So if someone just submit the 5-star review, or give us a good word of our service, which is that's the real reward.
Absolutely, and also as well, that's a key part of how we build the business, isn't it? It's through those recommendations, and it kind of just grows and grows, because one person recommends us to 2 people, each one of those recommends us to another 2 people, and the business just mushrooms from there.
Yeah, that's true. So it's all the compound effect.
Absolutely.
But it's slow. They have to be slowly built. So you can't build relations in a 1-hour call or the first meeting. No, this is initial report, but not the building relationships. It's taking time, which is a vital part of the business as well.
Yeah, and for us, isn't it? It's about becoming a part of that person's power team. So I've got clients, for example, who the day they sign on a new property, even though they won't be getting me in for maybe months to come because they've got to do a refurb, they'll ring me up and give me a heads up and go, right, I've got this property, I'm going to need this. And also they might just ring me and ask me a property type related question, because again, we've got that knowledge and we do this ourselves. And, you know, and we're seen as, you know, as what we are, as experts in property and property photography.
Yeah. And this is what is the part of this business is resonate with me. So helping others, be of expert advice and provide a great service. So all values ticked. That's why it's resonant, and I'm happy to be here.
Okay, good. So on that then, what would you say to anyone thinking of joining the business? What would be, you know, the good bits and the not so good bits, you know, what would you say to them?
First, well, this is like a well, if you want to build that business, you have to be committed to it. So if you have an intention to okay, I'm gonna just open the office and waiting for leads to come in, I would say, well, you might be considered to do something else, because this is like a new journey. This is like, okay, so you're learning new skills to provide good service, but you will learn how to build a business as well, because that model, what we're working on, is evolving, and we added more stuff to it. So if you want to join, just prepare that you have to do some action. So you have to be proactive, you have to be committed as well. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be a straightforward process. Just do what you're supposed to be doing, and do it again, and do it again, do it again. Be persistent. So that's you have to be prepared for that. If you looking for easy money, easy money, I don't think that's going to be waste your and our time as well. So don't do it. Know exactly what you want from the business. So if you want to be as your full-time income stream, you have to know exactly what do you want and how much work you have to put into it. If you want to have as a part-time additional income stream, that's great. But you have to know your numbers. You know what your time available to build a business. So you have to be like, you have to have clarity. What do you want exactly from this business? And if you like adventures, that's the perfect place for you, because there's a lot of support from yourself and from other franchisees. Lots of area for creativity, and it is really exciting.
Yeah, because, and you say there about the support from other franchisees, and that's key, because we have exclusive territories. There isn't any competition, is there? And everybody wants to help each other, because as we build the brand, everybody gets value from it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so this isn't a get rich quick scheme, is it? It's
No,
a business you've got to build.
Yeah, and you're not gonna get, if you've signed a franchisee agreement, you're not gonna get 100 leads next day. That's for sure.
Yeah,
There's a process you have to implement, and even if you are, well, depends. You have to be sure where are you now. So if you never run the business, let's say, well, if you have a property and you run as a multi property, there's a business. But if you, for example, have a few properties and just let it out, and you never run the real business, so this is the opportunity to learn. So you have to consider that that's going to take a little bit while to make sure you understand everything and just implement step by step. But we provide the support of that. So it's nothing that can't be achieved. Just how much effort you're going to put into it.
Yeah, absolutely, and we do, don't we? As part of like the initial conversation before somebody comes in, we look to see what is it they're looking to achieve, because this business can be an additional income stream for full-time property people, very much a part-time, income, or it can be somebody who wants to build something even bigger, and put a team in behind them, and we can then create a territory to fit that, or they can grow their territories later if they want to.
Yeah, that's true. That's one of the goals of my future in Landlord Photography. But yeah, so everything can be possible. Depends what do you want, and if you're clarity what you want, it's easier to implement into the business.
Yeah, okay. And you mentioned about your future. So do you see landlord photography as a key part of your future success?
Yeah, that's in my vision as well. So what I want to, well, there's some the landlord photography business is aligned with my values and my vision of for my 5, 10, and 15 years vision. But I didn't know that before I joined the landlord photography. That just came across over the year when we develop and grow the business. So that's fit into the categories where I want to focus on and continue to work with.
Okay, good, excellent. Look, really appreciate your time today to talk to us and to share your experiences. So
Pleasure.
thank you for that, Peter. Is there anything you want to say before we close, or is that it?
So it was absolute pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity to be a #1 franchisee. So the title is great, #1. as as I am love sports, and so that's a great title as well. But it was a great learning curve for me, and be able to develop some skills I never thought I'm gonna be learn. And I'm looking forward to the future in that business. And if anyone would, for any top tip for anyone who will consider it, yeah, it is worth, but you have to be consistent and persistent and know what you do, what you want to achieve, and just take action.
Consistent, persistent, and take action.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think that really sums it up well.
Yeah. Fantastic.
So on that note, thank you very much for your time today, Piers. I think everybody would have got a lot out of that. So thanks again for your time.
Lovely. Thank you very much.